Yo, old early birds, welcome in. Space Bunny, Gavin, Cedric, Toms, Valerie. Hello. I'm just going to start the timer. You know the drill. Something, something, cup of coffee, something, something. See you in a couple of minutes. Oh, jeez. Punch my monitor on the way out, too. What an absolute banger soundtrack to come into. Kia ora everybody, and welcome back to Humankind. This is the continuation, and likely the last part of the One City Challenge. I've just reloaded a save called One City Challenge Part 2, Swahili. If you didn't join us last time, let me catch you up on where we're up to. A very warm welcome to everybody. Also, a huge happy birthday to one of the moderators of this channel, AM Hofmeister. Not sure if they are tuning in today or not, but I wanted to say that at the start of the video nonetheless, in case they go back and watch the VOD later or something like that. Yes, so let me zoom out and give you a look. It's quite an easy save to catch you up on, thankfully, because as you may imagine, there's only one city, right? Not incredibly complicated to follow, but very complicated to set up, as we've found out. So let me zoom out. When in doubt, zoom out and show you what I'm dealing with. This is the mighty beast that is Olmeca. And at the end of the last video, we had just concluded a war with the now sullen P. Pretorius Pete, who is at the end of the medieval era. You can see we're just at the start, so we've got a little bit of ways to go yet. That does mean that I'll need to run a poll very soon, though, kia ora Frankie, to figure out what I'm going to play in the next era. But in the meantime, this is our city, our one beautiful city of Olmeca. And you can see I've got loads of territories to attach up to, thanks to our victory here. These two are now successfully squashed. However, we're not alone on the continent yet. We have, in fact, Hof themselves up to the north playing as the Byzantines, again at the end of the medieval era. If we have a look at the score, we are beating them, but not actually beating. Not actually winning. Winning is an issue. Thank you, Mr. Crawl. Crawl? Not sure why I put an R in there. Call for following. Coffee Island over to the left. Say it ain't so. Wherefore art thou? I see Whale Poop Island. Ah, yes. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3 coffee. 4 coffee across those two territories. Some whale poops there as well. Holy cow. That, if we end up fighting, we should take that territory. Zooming around the rest of the world, we have our island archipelago chain snaking all the way up here. I'm going to connect all of those up to this city and make it one big stupid place, and it's going to be fantastic. And actually, there are a couple more out here that we can connect as well. I'd like to, if I can, try and complete the in-game Steam challenges as well. But we'll see. All right, the Italian. There is really an Italy-looking one, isn't there? Look at that. Love it. Okay, why is my sensitivity so awful? There we go. DPI on my mouse had shot down to like 2. I had to stretch it halfway around this stupid continent to try and scroll around the map. Have we reached our limit? Unfortunately, just by 1 tile. That is frustrating, because one of the Steam challenges, I think it's from memory, 30 territories attached into one city. Hey, Pete. So as we go for the One City Challenge, finally able to catch a stream. Oh, Mac, I missed that. Fantastic. We're gonna either need to fight everybody on this land, or we do stretch across like this. However, again, it looks like it is 1 tile short. So it's gonna be capturing the homeland. I don't think there is any other way for us to join, except for bursting perhaps through here, through this coffee Italy, and then over here to Chan. That could be an option. I definitely need to hang around to try and pick up some extra fame, which sadly puts us... Ooh, that's a nice harbor. Sadly puts us well behind everyone else. I'm hoping that the Swahili era will be a chance for me to catch up. But because we are stuck on one city, we're going to notice our yields start to fall off
5 farmers' quarters for one city.
Relative to everyone else, which is not great considering we're already a little bit behind. That's probably my greatest concern, actually. I'm really thrilled that we won the war last time. If you joined me in last time's stream, you will know it was a hard-fought battle. We lost our ally, our pink ally down there playing as Thebes. They joined with Pete, who was the bad guy. Sorry, Pete. And it wasn't easy, but we made it. two emblematic districts? Why can you not put two emblematic districts on an unattached territory? I can only put two emblematic districts on territories that have a natural wonder through playing as the Nazca. So if it doesn't have a natural wonder, it can only have one emblematic district, that is. In this case, my emblematic district, as you just witnessed, is fantastic. So much so that I'm going to spend some more money to buy some more, because that is worth trading off. That is definitely worth trading off. No. No question should be unasked, because if you're wondering it, there's a very good chance that other people will be wondering it too. Don't forget that. Shall I go for the attach? Let me check my stars as well, just to bring us up to date. Not great. But attaching will be probably the easiest way that I can start to pick up some extra ones. I already have my two territories with natural wonders attached. Look at that. How good. That is just beautiful to see. We should probably then start attaching some of these ones that are potentially at risk. Or I hook up some harbors and attach ones that have harbors. That's the other possibility. Although it looks like, actually, we might just try and stretch our way over this way. We'll grab Revati. We're now struggling a bit for food here. But I think that the Bandari should fix that. They're quite the way off, though, because my industry's very poor. I could consider sacrificing 66 people. No. Religion and civil pressure. That is a great question. Gavin, your member icon is different. Are all the member icons different? That's interesting. That's changed since the last stream. Why? Why? I don't know. Hoff, yours too. Happy birthday, friend! Your computer didn't update. Gosh darn. Maybe YouTube has changed the membership icons in that case. Wasn't just you, Gavin. Sorry, I'm a bit late. The stream popped up. Yeah, I have noticed viewer numbers a little lower than I would expect from a day like today. I was wondering why. Could be just that we're not getting pushed in the algorithm quite as much today. Could be interact. It could be loads of things. But I did notice. You didn't change it? Okay, so maybe it is a system-wide YouTube change thing. Interesting. I didn't get any notification about it. They're usually actually surprisingly, oh, let's take that science, surprisingly quite good about sending out notifications around that kind of thing to creators. We're still at negative 27 food. These people are hungry. Can we buy some? Non-aggression from the Incans. Well, I mean, I think that ship has well and truly sailed. Could we get anything out of you that would provide food? Not really. Maybe some horses. The Empire cannot trade when not allied. Excuse me. Forbid trade? Why? I don't know why that's happening. However, let's check our civil and religious pressure. That looks like the religious pressure is good. Yes. Okay, so Shintoism is spreading nicely. Thanks to our Nazca start, probably. Carried us through a bit. We should also be strong on the society screen thanks to playing as aesthete cultures. They don't lose pressure, so pretty good. 4th of July weekend. Of course. Long weekend. My Americans. Yeah! True. I didn't enact that civic, Brian, but you're right. Perhaps that was forced on me at some point and I didn't notice. Surely not. Religious hostility, monoculturalism doesn't do it. Personal rights isn't it. Codified laws, no, no. Paid wages, no. No, I don't think so. I think that's more of a late game one from memory, but I could be wrong. +1 farmers slot on city per farmer's quarter could be very useful. This would give me plus 5% industry. However, we could yeet ourselves that way and get plus 10% money. We have a lot of money. So let's do that. Oh, you're starving? I'm so sorry. That is very unfortunate. I move swiftly along. This is the crappy religious tenet era. Sorry, followers. We'll go for the +2 money, seeing as I have a little bit of a money thing. Our religion isn't very good so far either, to be fair. I haven't got stellar picks any of the way through. However, as the only faith in tier 3, we might be able to push through and get to tier 4, particularly because Olmeca is likely, if we can get these harvests done sometime soon, likely to be a very big city. So it'll have lots of followers innately because it will have lots of people. Swahili just won the vote off, but it was the backup, I believe, at least on one of them. Gavin! God, Gavin! What did you say? Firstly, I think we deserve a aw, because I see a COVID in here. Got a C19, got C19 last week. Damn it, friend. And your videos have been a lifesaver as I've been isolating to protect my family. Thank you so much. Thank you for doing good things for the people around you. Clearly a very kind person, and doubly very kind for a whomper of a $20 super chat as well, which is like 30 New Zealand dollars for the record too. So it feels like even more significant for me, even though of course it's the same kind of thing, translates the same. It feels like a lot more. So, and it was already a lot. Thank you, Gavin. And I really hope you feel better soon. You got it last week. From the people that I know who have had it, they're on average have maybe started to get better in week 2, I would say. Hopefully that's a bit of you. Nice to hear that I've been able to be at least a voice in the background for you. Maybe even one that's kind of interesting or something at times. Yes, the first choice was the Mississippians. Thank you for reminding me, Al. I forgot. I knew that the Mississippians were in there, but I couldn't quite remember if they were the first choice or not. It was a very close vote, though. Actually, all of the votes for the last, I don't know, maybe 2 streams have been very close. Almost all of them, anyway. A couple of landslides where they've not been. What is going on here? Have we... Oh. Okay. Pete, early modern era Inca.
Hail, sovereign.
Mississippians, medieval era, stolen by Works with Dragons, our ally. These two are still buddied up. We could probably go down here and fight Dongola. Not funny. I am not a child. We could probably go down here and fight Dongola for some military stars, or we'll fight these two again, because they're kind of weak, and it's probably a good time to fight them. However, looking at our distinct lack of military units, and thinking back to last time, we did suffer some pretty serious losses. So I think we might take a break from the Bandari. It'll also ease our food woes and our population woes a little bit. If I can build a few military units. It's actually a really great way to ease pressure to build military units. I kind of want to play a militarist culture just so that I can pump out population as militarist units and then just stand them around nearby. Keep them here, grow our population much faster. Should really get the infrastructure online. That is also true. Our industry is very poor. +9 industry, though. I mean, it's at the moment, I'm kind of just leveraging money in place of it. +41 money from a customs farm. Only 9 industry for the Artisans Workshop, but you are absolutely right. I need to get all of my infrastructure across the board up. I think I need to get my industry up. And these are all very cheap, too, especially relative to the cost of my districts. My districts are like 8 turns each. I can do roughly 5 of these infrastructures in that amount of time. That science one, I want to have a look at this yield. Is that really good? It's +9. Okay. This is a +42. We need to get these online, especially because I only have 1 city. So I'll get those first. I do really want to get military units as well, though. So I'm going to queue up, what are we dealing with here? 31 strength, and 26. Okay. Let's get some of our freshly minted medieval units online. It's going to take us around 10 turns. Hold on for dear life, everybody. We're going to coast through the next 10 turns. So far, so good. I hope so, Gavin. I hope so. The people I've talked to have said around day sort of 4 to 7 is kind of the worst. Good call, Hoff. It's actually plus 23 science from the library because it adds research slots. Oh my god, and we've already moved through to tier 4, sorry. I immediately got distracted. Plus 50 science from cultural wonder could actually be the goer here. I do like this one because it gives 3 holy sites. However, 2 arguments against. Firstly, I'm well ahead on faith, clearly. We've just beelined ahead. Secondly, I only have 1 city, so stability is less important to me, so these extra holy sites are less important. Scribes. Okay. Good to note. I'll grab them both anyway because they're both fantastic. Plus 2 combat strength on unit is tempting. I don't really need to sustain the faithful, although plus 20 stability on territories if they follow a foreign religion could be good in some cases. I think we're going to take raised monuments for the plus 50 science on cultural wonder. That is a significant buff for me, I think. How much science am I getting per turn? 285. Yeah, baby. That is great. That is great. We should get some more of those. Which means, unfortunately, that I have to sort of move through to try and keep up. Now, I've been unable to do that because I need to hang around for my stars. We're in a little bit of a downward spiral. I think that fixing the infrastructures should help. Library plus 1 science per population. Right, let's bring the sciencey one to the start as well. House of Scribes plus 1 science per researchers and plus 2 researcher slots. I'm not actually full on all of my slots at the minute, but I could be if I needed to be. 1 turn's worth of industry to finish that. That's okay. Is the emblematic unit any good for Swahili?
Knowledge.
No.
In a form that is
Yeah. What I really like about Swahili is our ability to embark easier. I think that's far better than any unit that we could get. Being able to hop across land like that, very powerful. By the Artisan's Workshop, I was hoping to see another infrastructural upgrade come up. It did not. Yikes. The rest of these are fairly garbage or just not overly useful to me at the moment. So I'll ignore those. I think I should keep using my merchant ability. I was toying with buddying up with those guys. I won't. Ooh, fighting going on over here. That's probably a good thing for me, because if we can reduce the number of players ahead of us, that's actually also an important point. The other catch-up mechanism that we could opt for would be to... Ooh, these are all kind of bad. I might improve your horses. There we go. Enjoy that. Could be to fight our way out of it, right? To move towards getting better units and go and fight the people who are in first. That way we don't need to hang around to catch up on fame. We can just sort of swing our fists. Great if you happen to be fighting coastally. Yeah. Which is actually... maybe something that I should look to explore. Got fighting going on over here between potentially the top 3 players. That's good for me. Let them crab bucket, right? Let them drag each other down while I hopefully grow tall and strong. We can attach another territory, and we should. Oh. That's going to be a big problem for me if I don't have an army online quickly. Let me just shift 1, 2, 3, 4. Even though these are a little bit weaker, I'll grab 2 of these. They may have a fairly strong upgrade path moving forward. And I'm going to need to do it clearly to protect what I've got. Let's grab this one next. Start stretching out this way. Also, these territories will have our Swahili harbors. So they have a fairly good amount of yield, and they're likely to also bring in extra populations to try and fill in some of these jobs, which will, of course, particularly be open now that we're training units. Start marching them forward. What are you doing? Heading to Okab? Maybe heading to protect your ally. Maybe gearing up for another fight. Either way, it's a bit of a yikes. I want to jump back out and grab this territory fairly quick smart. I might want to gear my military technologies ahead of the rest here as well. Let's get heavy infantry. Great swordsman, 35 combat strength. That'll be our best unit. Not bad. Second headhunter is still last in the queue. Thank you for being observant, Cedric. I appreciate that. Oh, although it looks like it might not be actually, because I'm scrolling and not getting anything. It might have been okay. Swift could be actually very useful, but let's grab the new army on All Mecha and hope for something good. Oh my god, it was. This new army upgrade often gives a gunpowder unit very early, and that's the reason why I choose it. So, in light of that wonderful discovery, it's actually almost so good that I might want to consider just jumping into a conflict. Maybe. Whoa. Let's train some extra units. I'm not over-exaggerating when I say it's a very good take, particularly if our opponent doesn't have it. What are we dealing with here? Is it still the Praetorian Guards? Yes, it is. Now, they're at 33, and they're at 34, so they are actually stronger than me by default. Neon, it technically doesn't break the challenge from any sort of Steam achievement perspective, and it doesn't break the challenge from my perspective because I'll raise the city. There will technically be a turn where I have two, but I just put it on like a project that it can't finish, like one of those celebrations, so it's not contributing to any other cities or itself because I'm burning it down with military units by ransacking it like this. So technically, no, we're all good, but we do have to raise it immediately and ensure that it doesn't build anything for us in the process. So it's a little bit of a workaround, but it's okay. I think we take Thebes rather than walk over here and grab this territory. No need. Oh. What is going on here? We're not at war. But they're being a real pain in my side. We'll have to retreat away from that. That's unfortunate. I mean, there were territories that we stole, so not the end of the world. Kia ora, Trentius and Huck! Yes, we do have new symbols next to our names. That wasn't my doing, though. Wasn't my doing. I'm not I think YouTube may have changed it. We're yelling because Huck's arrived. Much excitement. Thank you also to everybody who's liked the video. I didn't set a like target today. We appear to be a little lower viewers than normal. Pete, you're also right. It's a slightly later start than normal, although also sort of a normal start for this time of year for me because our time zones are so awfully different. During my winter time and your summertime, much better when we swap back, much better. But hopefully because it's a long weekend for the Americans, y'all will be ever present. Not so good for you Europeans though. Actually, it's particularly bad for you. There's a lot of Pete units over here, which is not ideal. Let's buddy up, though, because we can potentially take down Thebes. Look at this. Pillaging. Before we fight Thebes, let's just stop that pillage, because that is rude, to say the least. I'll just get a sort of a myriad of different units here. Pumping these out is, like I say, great for our agrarian stars. Also, inadvertently, this is going to be very good for our military stars, of course. So let's wander down this way and teach this noob a lesson. Yeah, get out of here, chump. We'll scare them well and truly off. Hopefully they'll be so far away that they won't be able to defend Thebes, our former ally turned greatest threat. -1 from ongoing peace. They're condescending towards me. Why? Only because we depend on access to their resources. And I would really query that. I don't think that that's true. To be honest. Long weekend in Canada too. Brilliant. The North Americans. I raise my cup of coffee to you guys. Sweet instant coffee, Aiden. It's so good. Alrighty. Scared them off. Thebes is relatively weak. I can't raise any extra war support. Oh, you're gonna train a scout? Let's do this. It'll be good for our military stars. It'll help me move through eras faster. And also, if we can burn the city down and then attach it as an outpost, my goodness, it's going to be a good one. Look at all these particularly science districts, which we really need. All right, Thebes, you are mine.
How can I help?
Oh, hold on. You're a toady, aren't you?
What do you want
Yes,
now?
and I think that means that I can't just declare war. Yeah, that's okay. All right, we'll declare war with your overlord, who is hate-filled, and currently at war with Hoff to the north. Interesting. Don't underestimate the power of the scout. I think my merchant ability is still on cooldown. If it's not, I'll definitely use it, though. Let's surprise war. Yoo-hoo! Surprise. It's me. I'm coming back for more. Yeah, we're still on cooldown for another 3 turns. Now that we've declared surprise war on them, we can fight the Mississippians who stole the Mississippians from us, so it's personal. It's extra personal. I think we should go for the fast assault, but I should manually control this, because manually controlling the gunner and trying to keep them alive, more than anything, is going to be quite important. How far will you push Humankind this summer? I just got an email. Minus 33% off. How good. Go Sega. Oh man, and Streamlabs Prime is offering a 20% off discount. I just renewed it like a week ago. Sorry, I'm not actually reading my emails. It just came up. That is so annoying. I should have waited for your Independence Day or whatever. I didn't think it would be a big sale day. Okay. Far away. Let's move this gunner to the high ground, put them in the best possible position they can be in. And I suppose just do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. What kind of damage can we deal through a wall? Very bad. Very bad. Let's step away from that. Okay? I'm going to block this spawn up here and just really stand away, move up to the high ground here. That's quite a nice spot. We'll try and clear off all of these bad, close to the wall positions that are difficult for us to defend. We'll try and bait them out from the comfort of their walls. And it seems to be working marginally. If I thought about it a little bit sooner, I would have moved away a little bit faster, but maybe I can just wear that loss. Unfortunately, our gunner does have to get quite close, but wham, bam, thank you, bam, it's incredibly strong, so it's okay. High ground does actually make this a little bit more of an advantageous stab for me, so I'm going to do it so that we can reduce their numbers, because it is kind of a numbers game at this point. Let's get behind this river, because standing anywhere on it is a really stupid idea. And the anti-cavalry stab there is brilliant. And the high ground ranged move is brilliant too. Feeling a little bit better about this, although we are a little bit outnumbered. Just a little bit. Kia ora, Forex Gamer. Thank you to everybody who tuned in last time's stream, where we played some absolutely kick games of Fall Guys. and then Among Us. 4X Gamer reminded me. The Fall Guys games, I have to admit, were exceptionally fun. I didn't think I would enjoy that quite as much as I did. Turns out, it's either quite an easy game, or I got quite lucky. I had a good time with it. And then we played some Among Us as well. Thank you again to Ben Ownby, who hosted that. One of our moderators. Are the DLCs worth it? I assume you're talking about Humankind. And I think the answer is yes, personally. They're certainly worth it for me. I play a lot of this game. They add some nice variety. However, there are some wonderful mods that can add just as much variety for free. So if you're thinking about buying them because you need variety, then you could also look to the community, because you can also find it there for zero cost. So, up to you, really. I like it. I think the DLC's good. I would recommend that you buy it, personally. Step to the high ground here, and I think again take these stabs, although you can see it's actually better to be low ground but behind the wall rather than high ground and on the wrong side of the wall, which is quite interesting. And kia ora if you're just tuning in as well. I see viewer numbers have just picked up a lot. A whole lot of people must have just liked and they did. Yeah, the likes shot up by like 10. So if you've just tuned in and also liked the video, thank you for that. You made a difference. What do I think about surviving Mars? I like surviving Mars, but I've put pretty little time into it. You destroy the wall, you can't continue to attack, even if a unit is there. Interesting, or pure. I haven't encountered that myself, but definitely, if you report that on the Humankind forums, I can almost but guarantee you will get a response. Amplitude are really good about it, which is another great point that Gavin raises. Yeah. I have a link in the description you can purchase Humankind through as well if you want to scratch my back while you do it. But Gavin's point, more importantly, is that it also supports Amplitude and gives him a vote of confidence, continues to support the development of Humankind as well, I suppose. Kia ora, Manuel. And I like it from that perspective as well. Praying for Mac M1 support. Yes, the ongoing drama that is. I hope that comes through as well. Particularly as the Mac line moves now to M2. You know, there'll be an increasing need for that as those machines replace and outpace the old ones. Although, I guess Macs have quite a long life. Whoa, who do we want to take a shot at? Realistically, the one behind the wall is probably the greatest threat, but I think we'll shoot this one because it's right next door, so why not? And you'll probably defend. You'll defend. Yeah, that's fine. Hoping that this unit will stay alive to keep this tile blocked. Looks like the others are baiting out shots from the crossbows. Kia ora, Cutter! We've just started fighting our neighbor to try and take over the continent. And that's about all you've missed so far. So, a great time to tune in, I reckon. I'm biased, because it's my live stream. But I do think a great time. Who wants to take some bullets next? I think you do. See, our gunner just absolutely putting in work. And let's protect this unit because it's weak, and we need to try and keep these people alive because they are still valuable populations. We declared war on our former ally. That we did. Neon Demon. One of the people who I think Hoff gifted a membership to, if I'm correct. I got a notification, actually, to say that gifted memberships were now completely rolled out. But I didn't get a notification to say that the membership icons had changed, etc. And on my end, gifted memberships have still not been rolled out. So, I don't know. I don't know if it actually did or not. I don't know what they're doing. I feel like it's still in beta, but they are clearly making changes to the membership program, which is great. They continue to make it better and better. When I first started live streaming on YouTube, there were no memberships, and then they brought them out and there were no benefits, and then slowly they've added more. The custom emojis were awesome. The once a month super chat, awesome. Let's do a poll, by the way. Who would you like me to include? I think we'll go for a top 3. We've already lost the Venetians, the Spanish, the Poles, the Mings, the Haudenosaunee, and the Inca. Interesting. Okay. Edo Japanese would continue to do what we do well. We don't have an abundance of mountains, but we have some. Ottomans would be an expansionist. Heavy weapon industry cost and heavy weapon. Interesting. Faith on district. The yield's not particularly good. Probably not. The Muggles were very low on industry. We haven't played a builder culture yet, Mac. You're right. Also, these elephants are pretty fun. Move and fire is very useful. Much more agile than the gunner unit that we're using at the moment, you'll note. Not particularly agile with moving and firing. We'll definitely put them on the shortlist. Yeah, Muggles, shortlisted. Mac, consider it done. We're also very short on science. Joseon play could be a pretty dang good one. We'll think about that. Dutch +1 money per population and their warehouse. I don't think I'm very well set up to build some great warehouses. So probably not, but I'm not against it. And then lastly, we have Maasai, -25% population consumption on all cities. We only have one city. But it will have a large population. +5 food per adjacent. Exploitation counts as a farmer's quarter. We can build this thing anywhere. It's quite useful. And these units are incredibly useful because we can upgrade to them straight away. Right? No tech requirement and no resource requirement. Bonus combat strength against damaged targets. A ranged unit with 43 combat strength. It would be our most powerful unit, and we'd be able to upgrade into it immediately. I argue this is a much more significant upgrade, particularly as we're behind, right? You'll note so many other people have chosen. I think this is a much more significant upgrade than, say, the Ottomans giving us extra cannons, which we're a way off getting. Even the gunpowder requirements on these elephants were a way off getting because of the technology and then because of the resource. Now, that's not to say that the Muggles would be a bad pick, but I strongly believe that the best unit for us to take here would be the Maasai unit. So, in that light, I think that we have some strong support for the Muggles. I think that Maasai would be good for our food situation and our military situation. Agrarian cultures are quite good for military too because they produce populations. So we'll put them in as our second. And then I'm just looking for a third. Any thirds? I see some talk, Tyler, talking about the gunner platform that is here. Pretty good one too. Terentius has been begging for Bannerlord for ages. Should I play that tomorrow? Once this game is wrapped up, I'll be looking to play a different game. For a change of pace. We did the Among Us Fall Guys community multiplayer for a change of pace, and that was really fun. And you have been talking about that for ages, and I owe you big time. Yeah. The only thing is I'm going to be really bad at it because I'm not well practiced. Joe could be good for the ships and the archipelagos. All right, we'll do Joe. Consider it done. I would be really bad at it, so I would need some guidance. Well, I would be okay at it, probably. I don't know. Probably really bad. Okay, so we're doing Joseon for the science. Our second option, apologies for the pronunciation, is the Muggles. You're not a wizard, Harry. And the last but not least, we have the Maasai for food and probably our best military as well. Who? I ask. Do you ever stream endless games? Yes. Not often. But not because I dislike them, mainly just because they're very old at this point. That's not even a bad thing. It just, kind of pushes them down on the priority list. But I think the last one that I played on stream was Endless Space 2. Played that a few months ago now, but had a good time in the couple of sessions with that. Man, I haven't played Endless Legend in years. But it was really fun too. My first Endless game, actually. My first Amplitude game too, I think. Okay, this fight is going okay. We lost our gunner, though. That's bad. See if we can tidy this up. Maybe we trade. Yeah, we did. But that's alright. I can't get behind the wall this turn, which does leave me in sort of a little bit of a vulnerable spot. Let's try and move towards the flag. Oh crap, there's a ranged unit there. Okay. What's this? Oh, this unit would actually die to my anti-cavalry, so let's allow it to spawn and then destroy it. Because this is a great fight. This was a really, this was bad. I didn't expect that to move quite that far either, as well. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Hard to play after Humankind. Yeah, it is, right? That's the thing. It's like, it's hard to go back to those games, not because they're bad, but because Humankind is newer and more modern and a much more modern iteration, and it does it better. And holy cow! Cutter! Whoa! A megapixel at that! Cutter, welcome to the megapixels. They're mega and you are super. Thank you for supporting the channel, Cutter, in a crazy way. Holy cow. You've joined a very small group of people, and I am super grateful for that. Jeepers. Combat takes a bit to master, but the rest is resource management. Yeah, you're right. The combat I remember being quite bad at, but also it's kind of funny. I think there's some there's some humor in just how kind of clunky it is for me. Like I often end up just kind of laughing at myself. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. But in order to do it, I really have to prove myself and beat this challenge, or die trying. So, let's not muck around with this challenge then either. I can't seem to reinforce here. I'm not sure why. I think it's because I've already used all of the turns. So, we'll just shuffle that unit up that way for literally no reason, and then march it in. We've also got another one here, another crossbow. These reinforcements are actually very needed. Let's skip them up onto the highest ground they can get to and do that stab. It was a brilliant stab. It just kind of got away on me a bit. We'll move to the high ground as well. This is a fantastic downward push if we can get that off. We can't. As they move to stop my push. However, I'm not going to let them away with it that easily. Stepping down onto the low ground, there's a bad idea. So what I think I'll do instead is move through this way. Hold the slightly better walled defensive positions. Thank you, Cutter. Seriously, that is so kind. Like, people like you are supporting it. Mod check? Oh, yes. Oh, dear. I did see that. Buy viewers, followers, and primes on your follows. Thank you. Do we have, any... I need to add some of the YouTube modders as moderators on Twitch as well. Because at the moment, we have only like 2 or 3 of us. That's just an admin thing at this point. But I need to do that. But it's kind of hard to catch me live in France. I know, I appreciate that, Cedric. I try and stream as early as I can. It's been a little bit more difficult for me lately because I've had to work extra. And to be honest, I've just been really tired. Which I know is like a big baby excuse. However, the other thing to note is that this time of year is also especially bad because it's my winter time and your summertime. Our time zones are 2 hours further apart. In a few months' time, when we shift back the other way, it becomes much easier for me. At the moment for me, it's 9-something in the morning. When we shift back, it'll be my 11-something in the morning now. So, relative to the time it is for you. It might be 10 p.m. for you right now. It'll still be 10 p.m. for you, but it'll be 2 hours later in the morning for me, which will mean that I can start, relatively speaking, 2 hours earlier for you. So, I'm sorry. I do try my absolute best to stream at the best time for European and American viewers, but it is especially tricky at this time of year. I find it very frustrating. I do. Not a baby. Well, yeah, no, I mean, it is what it is, I suppose. Ooh, this is also what it is, and it is not good. How did this happen? Where are the rest of my units? So I've just taken this city, and then Pete has rolled up and said, hey, did you just bully my ally? Thank you, Cedric. Just picked this game up on a Steam sale. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I've been working on some updated versions of some of my tips videos, actually, because I've noticed a few of them are a little bit out of date now, since updates, etc. have gotten in the way. And it's really cool to hear that new people are picking up Humankind as well, because I think it's a brilliant game and is a little bit, in my opinion, underrated. This is a good choke point to hold. A single tile. Potentially low ground river if I move there. But am I going to get bombasted by ranged units? I'm actually not, so I might move there and see how we go. They have to push up either from outside of the walls or from standing on a river. With only one ranged... Ooh, that is not really the numbers that I was looking to see come off there, though. Okay. I might also elect to give up my super duper positioning to take out their one ranged unit while it's outside of these walls. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Much love from Canada. My huge love goes out to you, Terentius. Huge love. First full expansion. Yeah, I'm very excited to see what the first sort of big DLC will do as well, rather than just the more culture-focused ones. I'm assuming that they'll follow a similar logic to their previous games, and a similar DLC release schedule to similar games like Civilization. As I'm sure you are too. Expecting a sort of a big expansion at some point in probably year 2, which begins next month, if you can believe that. Humankind will be out for a year. Okay, we lost Thebes back immediately. And now I don't have my gunner to defend me. So, mud on my face. Crap, we need better units. Or just units. My combat strength is not really enough to even hold my own. Thankfully, we only have one city, so holding my own isn't especially difficult. Let's attach this territory. And attach this one too, as we stretch our way out. Oh no! Oh no. Okay. That is just a really stupid misclick, so I'm just gonna quickly rewind and redo. DeGreen also just picked this game up on a Steam sale. Is there a present from YouTube, or did I read that twice and forget? I must have read that twice and forgot. Surprise will surprise me. The real surprise was on me. You're right. Unfortunately, it kind of was. I'm playing on endless speed. No, this is normal speed. I would love it for it to be endless speed. That would be much better for me. Oh, yikes. That's a bad... a unit caught off guard there. So, what I should have done was, firstly, train these units. Yep, that was a good call. Let's do that. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. But secondly, check that these territories have their harbors connected. Because that's 28 food and 39 gold. And also an extra district being built, right? It should have been done a long time ago so that I could add population alongside it. But either way, it'll add a bit of food. It actually makes that attach a little bit too expensive, but that's okay. I could probably afford to shift people off food, especially while we're growing at 1 per turn, and while we're attaching these extra harbors. So, let's move people... Yeah, look at that. Let's get all these people off onto science, onto industry, try to start to grow this thing. Also, the Notre Dame will give me plus 50 science as well. But at the moment, it feels very low down on the list. I can't help but feel that the... Oh, merchant ability ready to go. Can't help but feel that the Messiah unit is actually almost required at this point. With the surprise war really leaving egg on my face. Potentially. Like, this is a bit of a yikes. But I do have to take some risk because we're behind, so it's okay. This one's glowing purple. No. Unbelievers. Unlikely to be useful. Conquered empires, no. Land rights actually could be. Attaching with money would free up my influence for really only for wonder claiming and civics, but I think I'll do that.
Interesting choice, which may lead to a concentration
because I think I'm making considerably more money than I am influence, and it's actually a bit cheaper too? Question mark? Yeah, maybe. It's roughly on par. I'll do that. Get that attached. The old mecha continues to grow and attach extra harbors to itself. We really desperately need to get some units in here to defend, though. I'm wondering if Don Gola would like to merge and become part of me. It kind of would. Let's... Oh, God. It would, but it's going to be a tough ask, isn't it? Civics osmosis. Kind of gross. Really. Yeah, I always make sure to leave the VODs up. Which I know it's not quite the same as watching it live, but there are loads of people who watch the VODs. This woo is for you, VODers. Notre Dame. I do need Notre Dame. But I can't afford it. City is jagged as heck. Yeah. So, urban planning is questionable. It's really difficult to get around this city. Let me tell you. The year is 1045 and it's very difficult to get around. I would like to at least start this. So I'm going to spend one turn doing it. We've unlocked the Great Swordsman, so these guys will provide us with 35 strength. They are now by far and away my best melee unit. We can also upgrade into them, I think, from... Oh, we probably don't have any left. Just kidding. Do I want +5 influence on main plaza? No. Go take that island at the bottom. I have no military units to do it. I would love to, but I just can't at the moment. I'm at war. I can't spare anything, unfortunately. We could move through. At the moment, you are voting 47% in favor of the Muggles! And we have 47 likes on the video. An uncanny numerical coinky-dink. We haven't lost anybody, which is good. Keep getting your votes in. I'm not quite ready to move through yet, as you can see, but we have completed the militarist stars and the expansionist stars. So, a fast move is maybe not out of the question necessarily. Holy cow.
Welcome.
They are at the end of the early modern era. Oh, jeepers. I may just get outpaced if I don't move through. That's this trouble. We've got enough turns. The turns aren't necessarily an issue. But somebody snowballing faster than I can is. Get this Bandari out of the way. Start training great swordsmen like this though tomorrow now. At 35 combat strength. We need all the help we can get. So let's shuffle some more to the front. Refuse. Ah, the Neon Demon! With 20 SEKs. Thanks for the 20 SEKs. I'm not sure about that pronunciation. What did you say? Neon Demon. I have faith you will win with 3 exclamation points. That's a lot of faith. Maybe even 4. I can confirm. Yep. Go get him. First time in chat. Humankind better than Endless Space. I personally do slightly prefer historical strategy games, so I would always say yes. I think being more modern as well gives it probably the benefit of hindsight and amplitude being able to improve over their other titles. So I would say a tentative yes to that question, but that is a tentative one at best. Let's chop down some trees to chop out some extra units. Wow, that's a lot of strength amassing on my borders. Wow. Okay, they're actually coming to fight me. It does seem like a strange 3-letter abbreviation to choose. Probably for my accent too now, as I think about it on hindsight. We have like no districts. Crap. There's nowhere, sir, we have nowhere to stand. Just find somewhere, you fools. Yeah, that's a big yikes. I need to get a couple of extra districts around the city center. That is a big, big oversight. We've got so many territories attached. I think my emblematic territories likely have more districts than my actual city centre does itself. Let's bring in the pain. Stab you. You're gonna have to stand on a river to get a stab off, which I don't think is a particularly wise idea. However, check that out. Woo-hoo! That is a nice move. And then we'll move to hold the high ground and block. And basically just do that. Nice. Hold our high ground. Use what position we have to defend. Looks like maybe my faith is in vain because this looks bad. I think your faith of going to get them might have been a little overambitious right now. But I am confident that your faith is strong enough to at least defend. Don't you worry. Geographic positioning is everything. And we have it in trumps. Particularly as they move to get this. You know, like this is quite a safe, easy down stab to try and get the flag back. And they'll continue to run for it. It's low ground. It's on a river. Like it is in general just not a very good spot for them to be. But because they've triggered the fight, they're going to hold this flag. Now that is beneficial for me because I can stand here with my good combat strength, but not absurdly good, right? Like I'm on 38 in this case. This unit is on 34 in this case, so I'm leveraging what I have to my advantage, certainly. And getting a really, really advantageous strike. Double strike, actually, down on these guys. That's a really good one. Likewise over here, we've done basically the same thing. We might actually want to come around and get a little bit more aggro here, though, because they do have the flag. And I can kind of afford to do that. The zone of control will mean that this unit won't be able to run around and up in a turn. So that's okay. And technically that may have been a loss. But we took out a lot of their units. And in the updated version of Humankind, that matters as well for war support. Much more so than it used to anyway. So, all in all, not terrible. We will continue to train units like there's no tomorrow. Hold these defensive positions. I do like the idea of pumping out a district, but look at how expensive they are. I just can't even afford to because we have so many across the rest of this ginormous city. Another downside of the One City Challenge. But it is what it is. We are currently at war with Pink and Orange, these two. The terrible two. And it's going okay, although they do have greater war support than me. We kind of jumped in while they were also at war with the Venetians. However, it looks like they've now peaced out. Yikes. That's not good for me, because they peaced out in a big way. Holy cow, Pete, you are tough. Your faith was not in vain! Yes, but I'm going to have to remain very cautious in how I play through this. Very cautious. Let's chop down the forest to make these tiles even worse as defense tiles. Ranged units, etc. won't have anywhere to hide once we chop down their trees. That'll teach him. Tree huggers. That is fantastic. Okay. Units together. We'll keep them in as large as we can, which at the moment is frustratingly in groups of 5. A little bit difficult. We've got +8 science, +3 money. So a lot of these infrastructures aren't overly good. Maybe the fortification could be useful as we hide like a coward. But we'll see. We definitely don't need any population on food. Look at all this bonus food now that I've sent units out as pops. We're growing the city much faster. Placing garrisons on the border? Yeah, absolutely. But I'm going to run into the same problem where my districts are incredibly expensive. I'm better off to spend 9 turns training 4 units than I am to spend 9 turns building 1 garrison. I believe the net benefit of training those units anyway is just way higher than the garrisons. So at the moment, we'll just continue to do that. as we move through the next era, looks like we're probably going to be playing the Muggles because that's who you voted for. And I will live by that. Momo Fry, thank you for following on Twitch. I appreciate it. Also, we had a nice little burst in YouTube subscribers recently too. We boosted up again. I missed the 23333 number. we surged past it. So thanks for that. Yeah, walls could be useful as well, but again, with so few tiles, their net benefit is also relatively slim. It's not terrible though. I'll look to grab them at some point. Again, though, we just need military units, I think. I think they're better than most things. Most. A tentative most. One more like and we'll cross over 50 as well. Go you. I should have set a little 50 likes target, but I was too cowardly. Don't need the faith necessarily. It would be nice to get Notre Dame. Like, this is really better than any other district that I could build, probably. So before building any other district, I should probably build this. And probably somewhere, and bear in mind we can build it anywhere we want, but if I build it somewhere out like this and it gets pillaged, we'll lose it. So I'll look to keep it somewhere close by. I'll look to keep it safe. Are there any... I mean, we could build it over on a place like this. Right? One of these islands should be fairly easy to defend. Famous last words. The tiles are actually fairly decent as well. Sure, why not? Let's build a remote Notre Dame over here on my one city. And seeing as we've got units sort of standing around nearby, let's keep deforesting a bit. Chop down so that we can chop out Notre Dame in a very Civ 6 style.
As feudal structures prove practical for both farming and warfare, certain codes and practices arise that, ideally, ensure a fair and honourable society.
To be fair, very honourable. Ooh, speaking of will not go away, my merchant ability is also ready to use again. Let's use it on somebody who we like who's not in first. Maybe green. We like you. You can have a little cash injection. It is only $1,000, but it looks to be kind of only $1,000 anyway, so let's do that. 500 influence for $1,000. Which also, you know, importantly, is a little bit better for me these days because I can connect territories with money. So we can go om-nom, like that, for example, and continue to attach and grow the All-Mecca! The amount of districts on the All-Mecca territory itself is sad. You're right. Although, you know, don't forget, these outposts have more districts than average. Particularly these two with natural wonders, right? Because they can build double emblematic district. So they've done that the whole way through. They have probably more maybe than my average outpost would. But the central city definitely is a sad looking place. Laughably sad. You're so right. I think this is probably okay. We could even actually just auto-resolve this at this point, but I think what we'll do is just step away, step away, step away, and call it a day. They have to push out to get the flag. Ooh, looks like they're reinforcing. Okay. I think we'll continue to withdraw. Unless there are particularly easy strikes with this, looks like it potentially could be. Oh, left a little bit exposed on the low ground, though. We'll try and use that to our advantage. Yeah. And then I think just sort of stay back this way now. The anti-cavalry will die, at least. After taking out probably their cavalry and hopefully another ranged unit. Then we have our southern flank, which is under a lot of pressure right now. Arguably a good idea to withdraw. Step back onto some super duper low ground. River low ground. Sure. I think that's okay. Hey, we got over 50 likes too. That was great. I shouldn't have been silent the whole time. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Oh, accidental capitals. I'm concerned. My volume is being picked up. Picked up. Up. We can hear you. You can? Okay, good. You can hear me now? Oh my god. Oh. Okay, hold on. Let me just check a couple of things. So it was pure silence for the entire battle. That should not have been. That definitely should not have been. I was silent for maybe 10 seconds. I literally paused to cough. Maybe I forgot to unpause. Oh, that feels so bad! You missed my battle commentary! No! Did I go into a tunnel? I must have. Yeah, New Zealand internet went through a tunnel. You know, you don't know what it's like living around the wrong side of the world. Okay, well, I was basically just saying we're going to tactfully withdraw and retreat back because our combat strength is roughly even and it's making for a difficult fight. That was basically what I was saying. It was, you're right, slightly grim. Slightly grim. Their strength is not overwhelming now that I'm in a better spot, but it was a little bit difficult when they were behind walls and I wasn't. So yeah, I think the withdrawal was a good call. Withdrawing back to high ground positions like this is putting me in a better spot. I think I'll hold this high ground even though I'm on a river. Sorry, this flat ground, even though I'm on a river. Might move, do sort of a couple of moves like this though, just to try and defend that. Accidental mute. Yep. Yeah, I'm sorry. The mute was purposeful, but I did not mean to leave it muted, and I was just sitting here talking to myself. So that's fun. I'm so sorry. Sweep through that way, round this out. At least moving back to defend was the right move. Look to try and keep as many of these units alive as I can so that I can buy their heal. We'll look to pay them to be healthy again. Yes, I was. That was on purpose. It wasn't an accident. My goodness. If I did it twice in a row, I would never live it down. I'm wondering if we move to the high ground to try and bait this out. I think that we do because it's round 1 of 3. This is the last turn though, so I need to make sure that I'm holding this flag. You can see the 5 out of 5. We'll try and bring the healthiest unit possible in to try and stab it. Looks like we're going to have to sacrifice someone, though. It's going to be you, healthy boy. Crap. And then you're going to have to step in and maybe do it as well. This horse could rampage in and deal quite some damage. It's not going to. I'm going to move the anti-cavalry unit because it has the best chance of surviving by defending that flag. And it was able to. Okay, great. Now, we need to very quickly pay these units to be healthy again. This is the best money we'll ever spend. We're basically like buying new units at that point, granted, but we really do need to spend that. Minus 15% on unit industry cost could be useful. 3 turns worth. We're still 6 turns away from Notre Dame, but I feel like I kind of need to backtrack again to backfill some lost units so that we can at least keep up the defense. Although I've managed to save up a little bit of cash money, so actually not that hard for us to do. Let's get our 35 combat strength swordsman and our 31 combat strength crossbowman and call that a day. Neat. And move these people off farming, for goodness sake. Holy influence. Holy influence, Batman, you are right. I guess I'll get conquered empires, which will get me actually really bad things. I kind of want to move more towards homeland. I'm wondering if any of these civics need to be cancelled and renewed. Unbelievers is a free upgrade to +2 combat strength. Let's spend some influence on that.
Just across the frontier,
we could then bring it back a little bit by buying that, but that's not really needed. Privatize industries I'll keep. Maybe like Divine Man. No, we'll keep Divine Mandate. Codified laws for the cheaper absorb. I like that. Monoculturalism. I think I like this. I'm struggling to find anything that I actually want to cancel. Potentially cancel out this for the cheaper unit industry because I'm looking to train more units. But yeah, no, we're looking good. We need to build wonders. We need to build wonders. Expert policy. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I only have 1 food. I might as well, 1 city, I might as well micromanage the food. I think we'll go max science, money last. Zilch food, we're still at positive 127, which is enough to grow every turn. So it's not a problem. Should also have enough stability that merging all of these together won't be an issue. And we'll continue to deforest. Like a good environmentalist would. Very good. And I might actually deforest my way into a sped up Notre Dame. And then also consider moving through for another push there. Let's get faster unit training because I was considering the civic. So clearly I have some value in that. So we should get the industry that does it, is the theory. Let's refuse that. We are getting, let's see. Getting food from exploitation, so from our tiles. We're getting loads from our coastal tiles thanks to our Swahili harbors. Largely our main source of food generation, I suspect. And then the other thing that has allowed us to get more food is that we've been training a lot of units. So the overall populations in our city are lower. So we are both simultaneously producing more food thanks to our fantastic harbors, which are also districts, by the way. Don't forget, we've built a lot of those. And requiring less food on the city because there are less populations in it because we're pumping them out as military units. So it's a double whammy, and it's a really wonderful double whammy. And one of the hidden strengths behind militarist cultures, really, in this game. Let's hoon back this way and chop down another tree. Just try and add as much industry as we can. into speeding along through this wonder.
To safely travel
Oh,
a dangerous
but no,
homebrew
we're going to have to go
ocean.
back this way and
You can
reinforce.
cause trouble
Because they're
any
trying
way
to
you
pick a
want
fight.
now, and have a better chance
Unfortunately,
of
they have
getting away
picked it
with
quite close to their borders. So, we could just lose this unit and then lose this fight. That wouldn't be ideal. We should probably move through an era. Yeah, we probably should. I am trying to play catch up on fame still. But we should probably consider moving through eras. We haven't lost anybody because we're kind of the last person to choose. I can go for gold here for 7,000 bucks, 2 more cultures, and 3,000 more industry. The rest aren't really doable, but these gold stars could be worth sticking around for. Almost 2/3 of the way through the game. You're right. Yep. No, good call. We're running out of time. 7,000 bucks, 2 technologies. 3,000 influence. So that's 6 turns worth of influence, 10 turns worth of money, and far too many turns worth of technology. Now, probably is the sweet spot, potentially, where I have to move through. It's also becoming difficult to judge the fame standings because players are so far ahead of me that I'm falling quite far behind. The Russians are in the industrial era, right? So we've got a whole era between us and the people in the next group. I think the case is strong enough that we're starting to run out of time. We need the strength boost. That it might be worth leaving some fame unrecoverable. Thank you for the kind words, by the way, Race Around Saturn. I appreciate that. Although some caution, rightly, from people like Pete and Huck in the chat. Should we do it? Is it too soon? Are we missing too much? By my calculations, we need to spend at least another 6 turns to get even 300 more fame. It's not even. It's 240. I think we should move through and race to the finish at this point. I do tend to side with the people who think we should move. Let me end the poll. It was a fairly decisive vote for the Muggles. And let me run a really quick, should I move through now and forego the fame? Or should I hang around, let's say, for 10 turns to pick up an extra, likely 550-ish fame? We're at turn 200 out of 300. We're now not only late to the 4th era, but also now just late to the industrial era too, as people start to move through. I feel like we're quite far behind, and the right option should be to move. However, the other argument could be that we could look to blitz through the final era, the contemporary era, by blitzing through on technology, right? There are ways, potentially, that we can surge through. We've also comfortably earned some of our stars, like our expansionists and militarist ones, that they'll be fairly easy to earn as soon as I move through. They'll be fairly safe. So we have the option of moving through any future eras, hopefully, I'm hoping, relatively quickly. I.e., we should move through and then quickly be able to get somewhere between 2 and 6 stars. Maybe half the number of stars. While you vote, it's going to literally be 2 minutes. I'm going to go for a break and grab a refill of coffee because clearly this rug that I've got wrapped around me is going to be here for a while. Don't go away. I will be right back. I'll also take your written feedback into account as well. I'll be reading the chat. See you in a second. Okay, I see your feedback. Loud and clear. And I agree. Let's do this. We're just going to move through. We're going to move through. And try and teach them a lesson. Okay, so you voted for me to move through as the Muggles. I think that's probably a pretty good idea. Although I'm not sure if we'll be able to actually leverage a lot of the power of this anymore. They. Okay, so the trait is less useful than ideal.
Geography. So,
However,
did you choose them for their impressive constructions? I bet it was the
to the early modern era. Let's finish off Notre Dame. It's only one turn away. It will give me 50 science, so it's likely still better than any district. Jeepers. Out brute forcing them is going to be the idea too. I agree. Although at the moment, I'm kind of just relying on them pushing me
Notre Dame.
To earn my war score.
Built at a time when
German Spiegel picked the Industrial Era. We should start thinking about the Industrial Era pick, actually, because it's likely to be a relatively fast move through. Here's this happening again. Oh. Okay. This has gone horribly wrong. Is it time to activate the emergency exit plan? They turned up with a gun. That's a disaster. That is a absolute disaster. My swords are no match. What? No! No! I feel it slipping through my fingers. The arrival of that gunner is too soon for me. Okay, I'm not sure what's gonna happen here. Okay, the Olmeca is still mine. The Olmeca is no longer mine. Run! Oh no. Is this it? Is this it? Was the war ended? I propose a white peace. Jeez. Uh-oh. I think just like that, I was smacked down and out. Brutally. And in one swoop. Completely obliterated. I think now this is it. This is all that I have. The one city challenge.
Other empires and
quite literally
what is being built with those
one
makers' quarters.
City. No, I don't think. I think I have to. The power of one gunner. One gunner was enough to slay the empire. Perhaps a lesson to move forward faster. Jeepers. Jeepers. That is just brutal. Look at that. Took everything. Left nothing. Although once the war ends, if I offer surrender, send.
We must be the change.
Is that, do I get everything back? Hey, it's not over! Now I actually have too many cities. Oh crap. Okay, we need to not build anything here, and just burn this down. That is not ideal.
Reaching the end of an ideology axis.
That is not ideal. Okay, the good news is I've got my city back, and we can now actually recover. All we had to do was pay a lot of money. That's fine. Piecing out and paying money was actually probably the best outcome for an unfortunate situation. Now let's turn this puppy on its head. All is not over. Man, what an emotional roller coaster it was. Okay, we continue. Quickly, burn this place down, you fool. You were never meant to exist. And we'll just stall it by doing a holy day. Burn it down. It'll only take a turn because you can ransack or destroy your own cities very fast. Hello? What is this game? They took a big bribe. They took a big bribe. Wait, how... Did that say how far will you push humankind? Oh, somebody been snowballing hard.
You remain a mystery.
Dusk!
Let us speak.
Why? Why move through so quickly? I don't understand. That is most unusual. We're behind, but I don't think we're that far behind. Let's see. We've got turns. They shouldn't fight us. I might put this on builder mode, convert some money and science into industry to try and spam out as many of these as possible.
The first to map the continent. Others will be after your.
I was the first to map the continent, for crying out loud. Somebody's in the contemporary era. The year is 1300. They've not even mapped their continent. What? I guess perhaps they haven't mapped this one. Maybe there's a justification in that, although how, I don't know. Pete is stretching both. Okay, we refuse that. And we'll continue. Oh my god, devilish, look at that member icon! 15 months. Can't I know what you're gonna say, and you're right to say it. Captain's log. Let's do a voice changer. This one? Does this one sound good? Captain's log. Year is 2022. My requests of civilization have been denied by command. Humankind reigns. Led by an immortal unknown, only as JumboPixel. Thank you for supporting me, even though I'm a civ trader at the current time, devilish. I always put it on the polls. Well, almost always put it on the polls. What would you like to see me stream today? Humankind wins routinely. That doesn't mean that I'm not object to playing against, of course, and going against democracy. But the power of democracy does often sway the decision point. However, to be fair, viewership numbers on Humankind streams have been much lower than in the past. So it could also be perhaps that there's a bias in the voting or who the polls are pushed to. So I should really broaden my scope. I really should. I've already had my arm twisted into what will likely be a somewhat cringeworthy, but hopefully exciting Bannerlord stream. So, there is hope on the horizon! Also, these two look to have separated. These old loves. See, look at that membership icon. They have certainly changed. Life is okay. Life is okay. I hope you're good. 15 months. Jeez! Let's take the science. We don't need the stability. We are hemorrhaging a little bit of food these days. So it might be a good idea to shift a few people over onto it so that we at least don't starve. And then train some more militarist units. Because that's also quite a good use of my time. Plus 88 money out of that. That is better than one of those, probably. 16 money. Yeah, no. 15 stability, I'll pass. 15 science is okay. I'm tempted to build a hamlet here just to have the extra district near the capital, but clearly it's a better shout over this way. And it's also probably better than all of these. So I'll move it to the front of the queue. And then continue to queue up more of these. Good for our faith, good for our influence, as you rightly pointed out, and also, crucially, good for our industry. Should start to see that snowball upwards. The builder ability is going to run out in a couple of turns, though. It'll be good for the rest of my stars, which, as you've rightly pointed out, haven't flown through quite as quickly as I would have anticipated. Yikes. Yikes. Oh, the good life is good. Those are all fantastic things. Especially nice to hear that you're taking a break, because a break is always a good thing. New truck. I have to remind myself that Americans call utes trucks. And also 1 month together. The crowd goes, aw. That's awesome. Warms my heart. The Olmeka basically has nobody to defend it. Let's hope that nobody comes and looks at it. Utes. I assume you're talking about a ute, right? Like a UTE. Short for utility vehicle, I suppose. I reckon it's a ute. Although it could be a truck. Are you a truck driver? Like a big, like with the big trailer? Could be. Could be. Actually, it could be. A pickup truck. Yeah, that's it. A pickup truck. Oh man, what an Americanism. Woof. A pickup truck. Got myself a new pickup truck. I feel we're a bit exposed. I feel you're right. We just don't really have any good units. I guess we get... we've somehow lost our iron. Let's get 1, 2, 3 crossbows to defend this mighty place. Oh, boy. Youths? Not youths. Did we invented motor vehicles? We get to decide what they're called. Oh, really? Tell that to the Pierce brothers who flew before you. Shots fired. Pew, 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 pew. Airplanes. Okay. Let's just keep positioning these units out here. And let's get gunpowder because we lost brutally to a gun. We need guns. These crossbows aren't going to hold up. And we are overexposed. And we only have a short window of peace. Short window of peace. Pickup truck. Pickup truck. Pickup truck. Howdy. I'm sorry. Okay, we'll retreat away from this. We lost this territory due to our own ambitions. We choked on our... No, not ambition. That is not the right word. Careful not to choke on your aspirations. We choked on our own aspirations. We'll just keep refusing this. No one says utes. Clearly, because they also wouldn't spell it with a Y at the start. Haha! But yeah. Yeah, no. Pickup truck sounds much more American to me. Lurking, but FYI, your stream title seems a bit off. Oh boy. Is it? Thank you for letting me know, spatial sloth. Your name is brilliant. What is it? Fall Guys Friday. Oh, Why would it do that? Thank you for letting me know. It was okay on the YouTube. But Twitch was like, I'm just gonna change your title. God, thank you for letting me know. Jeez. Twitch says Fall Guys Friday. Yikes. Darth Jumbo enters. There we go. Yes. What a quote. It should be ambition, though. I think the quote would have been better if it was careful not to choke on your ambition, not aspiration. Aspiration has too many syllables. You know, it's quite mouthy. Ambition is better. Hey, look, I don't write Star Wars, all right? Guess Americans could say I've heard you'd put it from the Commonwealth English, the Queen's English, or as one might say, English. Keep on digging that hole. Okay. What is this? Purchase, trigger another narrative event, gain stability, gain science, lose money. I like it. Let's experiment and gain some science and lose some money. Our builder ability has ran out and is locked for another 3 turns. That makes producing things quite slow. Hey. Units are still somewhat out of the question. I'm gonna get a research quarter. I'm gonna do research. Yes. Look how ludicrously expensive they are because of the size of this one city. This is the other thing that really, I think, don't quote me, but I think the other thing that really sort of drags the one city challenge down. It's such a big place. Where are these rebels coming from? What is this? Are you kidding me? They're so unstable, they're sending rebels at me. Oh, jeez. I don't know if I fight that. Back-to-back World War champ. You're right. You're right. Although, let's be real, it's easy to be a champion in World Wars when you're the one who labels which ones are World Wars and which ones are, say, the Vietnam War, isn't it? Oh my god, he did. No. Shush. None of the sort. None of the sort. Nothing. You've heard nothing. I love you. USA. USA. I am just joking around, though. Jumbo's on fire. He's on fire. He's calling it how he sees it. Twitch still thinks it's Fall Guys Friday, so anything goes. I'm wondering if I fight this for the military star. I'm gonna do it. I've got fire in my belly. To step onto a river and take the high ground. Why? When I can just stay here. I also think that what we should probably do is bring these ranged units into these better positions and also rain down fire like the fire coming out of my mouth. Is it cold in the shade, Devilish? You'll have to let me know. That wasn't really a pun, but I did the drums. Okay, moving swiftly along. We're going to take a lot of heat from leaving our ranged units on the front line. It might be a good idea to cycle back. I kind of thought that I would still have visibility over all of them. I had visibility over one. That's okay. No visibility around here, so I'll hold the high ground. Step in, see if we can grab a cheeky stab. Oh, so cheeky. How did he do that? Hello? What are you thinking about? What could you possibly be thinking about? I'll just end this round. You need a break? What's going on? A tad chili. Nice. Yeah, the zone of control. I saw a really interesting post on the Reddit, actually. I almost thought about making a video about it. It was so interesting, but then I thought, it's probably a little bit niche. Zone of control for ranged units in Humankind. Probably a little niche, but there was a really interesting Reddit post. I should have at least tweeted it, actually, because it was quite fascinating. I like the crossbows, but they're difficult, aren't they? They are difficult and not overly maneuverable. The move and fire could be a nice way to buff them, or, like you say, make them just cheaper to build. I don't know. There are probably a few options. I can't help but feel that this is kind of glitched out. We might need to reroll. Yep. That's unfortunate. Let's bounce back to turn 224, just in case it was something I did. Maybe it was positioning one of those units. I don't know. That doesn't happen very often these days, so I'm a little less sort of conscious, I suppose, of all of the different ways that it could go wrong. They could move parallel to the edges of unit tiles. Yeah, that would be nice, actually. Something like that. You're absolutely right. I refuse your osmosis. And I'm also just going to sit here now, I think. We're starving like there's no tomorrow, so let's shift some populations over so that we can continue to grow. We might as well. I think while we have food jobs free, it makes sense to fill the food jobs so that we can fill the population slots and therefore fill the rest of the jobs. We're going to make them vassals. Probably not. We'd probably elect to hoover up their territories and burn them down, but we could leave them as vassals. There's not a huge wealth in leaving people as vassals, really. I think you get a cut of their money, you get instant access to their resources, like they're traded. And, you know, it's not terrible, but it's also not very, maybe forthright. It's not very evident. Yeah, we just let these rebels pounce around like this and just be really annoying, I think. Maybe we get some extra units. Again, bit of a hold up. The crappy crossbows is not being labeled now. Oh, they are taking us on. I'm gonna retreat. I've retreated the wrong way. Not ideal. Hey. I was hoping we would retreat back into the city. Okay, now we have access to gunpowder though, so this could open up avenues. We're losing a lot of those territories out that way, which is unfortunate. Could be my gunpowder also being lost. 3 strategic resources up there. Just attach that while I'm here. And that too, because why not? Okay, resource down there too. Interesting. You could argue if I don't win this, I deserve to lose. Oh, I need those gunpowders. Okay, I have to take this fight. In a bad spot because I retreated like the coward that I am. Oh, the crossbows are getting brutalized. This is not good. Being put down by rebels like this is going to be a major step back. However, at least the game's not glitched out, I suppose. Nowhere to run. I'm gonna have to run into the ocean just to get a shot off. It does also open up this tile for perhaps a slightly weaker stab. But these units are running me down. Ah, the double strength, it's not enough. That is a disaster. A recoverable one within perhaps 4 turns, but still a disaster. Okay, the need to train units now has surged so far to the front that I probably have to reluctantly train, I suppose, pikemen. They're a little garbage. But I'll start to train some nonetheless. We are restricted by our access to gunpowder. I can't believe that. Do we have any trade partners who would be willing to spare it? Unlikely.
We have some
Greetings. What shall we
Trading
discuss?
everything with Dusk, who has no gunpowder. Great.
Welcome.
Saltpeter. There was some. No deal. Huck has stopped trading with us too. That's unfortunate. And the Brits have taken the territory with it. This puts us in a really difficult spot now, where we're sort of ring-fenced out from capturing any resources. I'm starting to consider whether I need to wave the white flag. Not gonna lie. I insta-resolved that because it's likely a victory for me, and it was. I need to move through this era. Basically, at this point now, just rip the band-aid off and go for it. Kia ora, King Tuan. Maybe it means tile by square, maybe? Okay. I have to just hold my city. The only real upside to the one city challenge is that it is relatively easy to hold the one city. However, losing these territories on the hinterland, not great for me. And particularly this one. We might look to recapture that, actually. Let's start to march that way. Maybe we consider expansionizing. Maybe we consider picking up a more aggressive culture as we move through to the next era. However, this is abysmal. It does probably mean that I want to do my builder ability again. Try and surge as much as I can into industry. I have to keep refusing those. The minus 50 stability only impacts you once, though. Important to remember. So once you've started refusing it once, if it's still active in the last 10 turns, you might as well just keep refusing it. Need to declare war to take that. Okay, we'll just hold our high ground for now then. My relations with everyone are really bad. It's true. We only have one partner. It does happen to be the best player in the game. But even this relationship we're not really leveraging any value off. Let's start to pick up some trade routes. Some value has been added from this relationship. Neat. Of course, with only one city, it's a relatively minor impact, right? The plus 15 industry on Main Plaza is very impactful if you've got 10 cities. Not so much if you've only got one. But nice to have the trade routes nonetheless. Make a little bit of money, buddy up with the person at the top, try and become their toady and claw our way back in the last few turns. Although, man alive, we are behind. Holy cow. At turn 237, if I was playing on Endless, I would feel comfortable. At this point, I do not. I do not. No, sorry, Bob. I'm wondering if there's any emergency way out of this. Recover some stars from the deeds. We're getting the competitive star, which is shameful. Militarist stars are almost out of reach. Expansionist stars, I could probably blip out a few. And maybe the districts. But even then, it's sort of tricky. Without access to these territories, having had this one pillaged as well, I'm reliant on money to connect them, but I'm also not making enough money. I think I have to wave the flag here. I don't think there's any way out of this. I think I'm buried too deep, unable to recover. what was a brilliant start has rather quickly snowballed down, bike waving goodbye, rather quickly snowballed down into not a disaster ending, but certainly not, I don't think it's one that's recoverable at this point. Granted, once the builder ability is off, I'm making money again. Maybe we leverage a few extra stars out of this, and I can claw my way into a quick contemporary era. That would be the only sort of possible way to spring up. But even then, to answer your question, Pete, the leader's on 14,000. Then we have a little cluster above me at 11,000. And then my cluster at sort of in and around 8,000. We could catch the next lot easily. I don't know if I have the turns to catch the player at the top, though. That's my concern. You know what I mean? This is a disaster. This is a disaster. I do believe that One City Challenge is probably the hardest challenge you could take on, unless of course you just made a more ridiculous version of this. Like you could tweak it to be harder by saying I'm limited to 1 territory, or 2 territories, or you could tweak it to be easier by saying I'm not allowed to build any extra cities, or or not playing against subscriber personas, I suppose, or tweaking down the difficulty rather than tweaking it up. There are ways that we could tweak it to try it again. I think that the start was pretty decent, though. Maybe got a little bit unlucky allying with the player who turned out to be the weaker of the two. Maybe. But also the starting position, I think, was very lucky. Like, it was quite a fortunate start. The double Nazca Natural Wonder start, quite fun. Although Nazca may be a little underwhelming. So I think I will try it again, because I do still need to beat it. The hardest I can think of in the game. Yeah, I think so too. I think it would be the hardest kind of, like, not generic, but sort of normal challenge that you might take on. Somewhat normal challenge. Maybe I try it on a lower difficulty. I could try it on normal and just see what that's like. That would be interesting, actually, for me, even mentally, just as a comparison. But that could be something that I could play through Blitz on my own time, if that's not interesting. But that's probably how I would look to change it next. Keep the subscriber personas in, because they are very interesting and powerful, and it makes for really difficult fights because your production is overwhelming a lot of the time. But maybe crank down the actual in-game difficulty so that the overall benefits are less severe. Or I could just take a domination approach. Yeah, actually, that's another point. I could... Oh no, we got 3 boats. I could just adjust my own style. Go for a really aggro militarist start. Maybe not take, say, Olmec Nazca as well. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I gotta just play through and see if I'm quick enough to reach the next era. It looks unlikely because I need to attach 2 more territories. Okay, well that's 1 star, actually. And then I need to build 2 districts. Actually, that's not too difficult. I can do that and then just move through straight away. If I go on builder mode, I can get the builder one, and then all I need to do is attach another territory. There's one here, so let's run our way out, I guess there, and try and grab that. Try and attach that up, because I don't have any others that are within range. We could build another city to attach that, but that's obviously would very clearly be in breach of the rules. But that would be another way how you could attach territory. If you're watching at home thinking, oh boy, how do I attach my territories? Just build more cities. But 4 turns will be at 260. We're moving through to industrial. We'd need some sort of miracle, I think. I could maybe pull a top 3 finish. It's not really enough to write home about, though, is it? I was hoping that this unit wouldn't get lost at sea. It would instead stumble upon some new coastal tiles of territory here so that we could get another connect up. But it's all right. Because of Swahili, we do thankfully move a little faster than the average bear, so we're okay. I bounce here. I take a non-aggression pact with my neighbor.
Dispute the benefit in that.
We could try and get some extra trade going to grow faster. That's another thing, actually. We'll grab this alliance. Lacking access to trade is also a little weak. Take the training wheels off for the rest of the stream. I could abandon the challenge. Yeah, we could go all in, just to see how much score I could recover. Okay, all right. I'll change the title. Actually, let me poll it just to see how you would like to see me end this. How to conclude. We'll make it a very quick one, just on YouTube. Unchained. Take the challenge F, or play through with one city. Let me know. A very quick poll. I'll preemptively change the title just in case. I'm going to call it Unchained Ending Sad Face. Because it looks like the initial votes are overwhelmingly in support of going Unchained. Let's see. This is kind of like a salvage my bad save file, which is kind of fun. And no restrictions come back. Hoff, yes, you also suggested it. Sorry, I didn't see your comment. Okay, let's see what we can do. So, I'm now allowed to build extra cities. I'm going to take the L, wave the white flag, Unchained, you voted for it. Vote we go back some turns, play through it just for fun. Alright, let's do it. I'll play through it like kind of fast and loose. I'll go back as far as I can on the auto-save. So we'll go back 10 turns. It doesn't give me a lot, but we should be able to light the world and see how close we can get to a victory. Let's do it. I like that. That's really fun. Let me just check if I didn't miss any other messages back through the chat. I'll just read through. Oh, it was really supportive. It was really supportive. End of the day. Games of having fun. Sounds good to me. And it looks like the overall vote was much the same. All right. I'll leave that poll there so that new people can kind of get a feel for what's happened. Dramatic music begins. Drum roll, please. What a drum roll. As I rise through the smoking cloud, rolling up my sleeves. Pulling up my woolly blanket that's keeping me warm, although the sun is starting to come in now. The day is warming up, and so is my heart. All right, let's see what we can salvage. So, first things first, I'm going to turn this into a city. City number 2. Very good. Let's get it online and also get it some districts going. You'll notice they are instantly much cheaper. That'll really play into my favor. I'll kit out this place with the 3 pairs of both the research quarters as well as the money quarters. Hey, speaking of money quarters, Neon Demon, thank you for another 20 SEKs. Could someone please remind me what an SEK is? I appreciate you. Ooh, and so do the crowd. Do you hear that? Listen to those oohs and ahs. Have to leave, unfortunately. Have fun. So fair enough. I suspect that's probably a European currency, and it is probably quite late for you. Rest assured the VOD will be here, and you've marked it so handily. Thank you for your generosity, and thank you for supporting the stream, friend. The Swedish krona. That's it. Cutter, you are fast and furious. Brilliant. Thank you for 20 beautiful Swedish krona. Krona? The plural for krona, I assume? I hope so. I have a big gulp of my coffee and let's get this show on the road. So, a city, which I'm going to name in your honor. Now that I've got extra cities to name. Names are going! Cutter. I'll need one for you too, I recall. A mega old pixel. Yeah. Let's maybe detach a couple of these ones up to north and create our wonderful coastal city that we've dreamed of. Up here. Name it after Cutter. Right. Here's our emergency exit city that I can now create. Neat. Oh, crap. Did I just click attach again after clicking detach? I'm so good. How did I get so good? Detach. Create city. Let's build these harbors first, though, so it was actually for the best. Really whomping harbors, too. 510 influence, so finally something to spend influence on. If I make this one a city, I can attach it there. I'm going to make this one a city as well, just so that I can get as many cities online as humanly possible this turn. Let's also detach this one and give it a harbor so that it can get ready to merge on there. We're now at 4 out of 4. I'd like to be at 5, so that probably means something down around here is going to become its own city. This one can be defended from the sea. So we'll turn that into one of its own, and then probably eventually go for an attach-detach kind of move. Neat. This is going to be a good one for either science or money. Even though these are sciencey districts, I think they benefit from money quarters. So this place can get really wealthy. So this will be the city of wealth. So we should name that for you, Cutter. See you later, Neon. Thanks so much. The plural is Kroner. Good to know her. Hardly know her. Do I play Endless Space 2? I have played it. It's not at the top of my list of games that I jump to, but I like it, and I'm certainly not against playing it. I could add it to some of the polls in future and see and kind of gauge the appetite for it. In fact, I will do that. In fact, I might do that right now so that it's running and I don't forget, because I often find I get a lot of these ideas in my head and then kind of fail to juggle them properly after the stream. So what I'm going to do is, right now, on the YouTube channel page, if you're watching live, this must be thrilling to hear play out, I realize. What I'm going to do is go tomorrow, hoping to be good to stream tomorrow. Tomorrow's stream, and I'll call it an off-meta game day, question mark. And then my 3 options are going to be Bannerlord. I think it's Bannerlord 2. I'll just call it Bannerlord. Endless Space. And if I put Civ 5 in it, it'll probably unfairly win because of the way that the channel skews. But I'm going to put Civ 5 in just to gauge interest for that as well. There we go. Neat. My network connection has been lost and I'm hoping that the stream hasn't died. Please tell me that the stream hasn't died. That may have just been a YouTube error. Either way, I'm going to put that in on the channel page poll. Bannerlord, Endless Space, and Civ 5. That'll be Endless Space 2 and Bannerlord 2. Or the most recent versions of those games. Whatever they are called exactly. Whew, okay, so we're up +1 on our city cap. Leadership will allow me to expand even
Most
further. We didn't even have leadership
eventually
unlocked
yield to the onslaught of more
because of our lack of cities. Man alive. Okay. Man alive. That is crazy. Sounds like they were just chucking copies of the game at people. Oh, were they? Interesting. Stream is still here? Oh, thank God. Okay. It was just my other connection. When were they giving that away? And was it the original Bannerlord or the new one? Because the new one's like... The new one cost me like $80 or something. I think it's still in early access, so maybe it was the original. I don't know. I don't really know where it's at with its development cycle either, the new Bannerlord. Whatever it is. Neon Demon is probably doing okay. It's got all of its infrastructure, which is a nice benefit over perhaps the Ore Mecha, which is a little bit behind, but not terribly. I actually sort of want to detach this and attach it there. Get those online. Okay, you're done. We probably also want to do the same here when we can afford to, but money is of the essence right now. Get you back to base. Get a hamlet over there. That'll be useful to build off of as well, of course. Likewise, on this island. Remastered ship would have been a nice pickup before I built all of those cities, but c'est la vie. It is what it is. And we've lost an army at sea. Oh, no, we haven't. They've still got it. They've got those good Swahili genes in them that allow them to still carry on that legacy trait of embarking and disembarking like there's no tomorrow. Let's accept an alliance with our ally for now. We accept an alliance with our neighbor. New update for Humankind at the end of July. I haven't heard a time frame for it, but they have started teasing stuff in a new update. So I'm sure there'll be one on the way because they've started talking about it. I'm not sure if they've set a date. They were pretty light on the details in the blog post that I read anyway. Cutter's private island. Absolutely. Oh no. I'm going to have to get rid of the apostrophe. Sorry. Sorry, grammar fans. It wouldn't fit otherwise. You're out of luck. Okay, that's good. That's really good.
Will eat and sleep.
Thank you for providing that. Place that there. We've got also the city out here looking to attach. Yeah, looking to attach. Om nom nom. Neat. And then you want to merge up to this one. Let's give it a harbor first. Again, I feel like I've built that harbor 3 times in this playthrough. And then surge through, grab a little bit of industry, set it up nicely, grab the hamlet as well. We'll put this one on builder mode, I suppose, because someone might as well be on it. Sure. And maybe continue a little bit of industrial development. Churn it along nicely. We're somehow now without copper, which is a shame. It's perfect. I'm glad. Do Isle?
If a little knowledge is a dangerous thing,
private Isle,
research
yeah.
quarters, this city is not dangerous in the
Okay.
least.
I'll need to move through this era as fast as I can if we want to go into sort of more of a blitzy kind of finish. So I think it's wise. To just kind of skip through a few. I would like to set up the extra city over here still. Kind of forgot about that. We'll send over these newly upgraded, no longer pikemen. There is my opportunity to move through. I won't run a poll, but if you want to suggest who you think I should choose, I'm all ears. We could be the Ethiopians. Honestly, not super fantastic, but fine. We go the Persians. We don't have a lot of trade routes. Again, fine though. Austro-Hungary or France. I think we kind of might have to go for France or Germany, actually, maybe. Yeah. Maybe it's France, Germany. Not the Austro-Hungary. I'm not convinced by transcending nor the Ethiopians. I'm marginally interested in the Persians, but actually not that much. I don't know, we're kind of trying to blitz through, which makes me think that maybe we're quite lucky to still have the French here as an option, and we should try and blitz through as them, right? Osmosis, science, yeah. I feel like we need to burst through on science and at least try and get through to something like nuclear reactor, maybe push through the top of the tree, grab that combat armor for +8 combat strength, or the Germans. They are the other option, and they are actually a really tasty one. But not for the U-boat. I don't have the science. I would just never unlock this. That's the trouble. That's the trouble. And it is for that reason that I'm going to go with the French and I think try and burst through. Get nukes, nuke the enemies. That would be the dream. If we could end this nuclear, that would be fantastic. And I think the French are our best way to get there. Let's do it. We're going France, baby. Research quarter. +1 science, +10% science,
Indeed.
Compatibilism.
There is a difference.
You know it. I'm going all in.
world gets
The Germans would have been
Born
a
in the
great
great era
pick if we
of
had more
enlightenment
time, I think.
revolutions.
But
Will the
because
French
time
live
is
up to their
so
best
cramped,
or launch
I'm going to
another
try and
round
burst through the
of
tech tree
terrorism?
instead. I wonder if I use collective minds. I think I have to, unfortunately. Before even getting this district down, was that wise? Probably not. Also, a distinct lack of food means I have to reroute units away from that scientific production. That's okay. Let's get these other ones. Like poor stranded Neon Demo. Poor Neon Demo. Let's improve this place. Turn it into some kind of science field. Thank you for following. Gamer Dad? The Gamer Dad? I got there eventually. I'm assuming. Thank you very much. Okay. Right. Let's get these places ready to roll. The exhibition hall, only really, really good if we have the science to back it up. Currently we do not. But we're making some progress. It's a little slow. But we'll get that online, get them ready to collective minds so that we can throw any one of them that we like onto it. Actually, at +14, honestly, not terrible. 3 turns. So what I probably do is go skip, 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 skip. We have collective minds on, so we're trying to surge as much effort into technology as we can, but my god, look how far behind we are. I don't think there's any going back. Patronage is unlocked, although it's unlikely being this late. Oh my god, we do actually have 1. How about that? Nice. I'll swap 5 people for that. Let's grab hefty little science osmosis. 49 science on the districts here on the capital. So actually getting these completed ASAP is probably a good idea. I might cancel this now. Work on a couple of exhibition halls with kind of everything that I've got on industry, and see what we can do by bouncing through a few turns. We'll also go movable typeface because we'll look to use those improvements to try and leverage us a bit as well. I don't think any of these are particularly useful. +10% industry. Okay, we'll leave that as it is. Yeah, nukes in 46 turns seems blindingly difficult, actually. We get the science osmosis, we get the research. At the moment, if I were to just bounce through, it would be far too slow, though. So I do still need to prioritize a couple of key scientific technologies, I think. Honestly, like, scientific method would be nice. Let's bounce to movable typeface, see what we can do. I don't think we want to give up on our religion. That would be a bit silly. Let's go secular, though. That seems to fit with the emerging theme. I'll also grab this territory and then sneak these guys down here to grab this one. Now that we have an alliance, we should have less of a threat of losing this land, which is good, because I kind of need every sort of extra turn, every ounce of industry that I have to try and leverage some of these abilities. In 6 turns, we're going to slam the capital back on to doing the science thing. Hopefully that'll leverage us a bit faster. The returns will be exponential, but I don't know if they'll be exponentially fast enough. We will see. Continue to claim stuff, continue to expand. Obviously, I'll move through this era as fast as I can. It goes without saying. Let's get over here with this boat and have a look what's going on. We can upgrade it into a cog. I know, you're jealous of my technology. Many are. Many are. And let's move that way. I've got kind of everything that I can get here, so we'll shuffle these guys back for defense in case we need it. Continue to hoover up a little bit of extra tech as we move through. And I guess I get this place on some abysmal science. KICKBACK. It's probably for the best. Maybe a mixture of science and industry. Kind of springboard those. We'd like to move through to the final era as fast as we can, because that's where the truly overpowered cultures are. If I have any chance of moving through, you could argue, actually, that I would be better to just prioritize that. However, as I look at how slow a lot of this is, I don't know if it's doable. Again, I'll look to leverage off probably the expansionist and builder stars to try and push me through. They could single-handedly push me through if I was able to earn enough of them, which I will be able to, but again, it'll be a question of can I do it fast enough? Unsure. Heal you up. Cheat! 33 turns to go.
30 research quarters.
A win is
So
impossible.
full of specialists that nobody
A
can
placing
understand
may
anyone else.
be feasible. Oh man, the cheat heal wasn't enough to heal that guy. That territory is too far away. Sorry, friend. But thank you
The
for
written
saving
word.
me money, potentially. Movable typeface unlocked. Likely a really good scientific improvement. +4. +6. Likely better on the capital. Queue up a few more of these. You benefit a little more from it. I'll buy you that. We can't get that one without iron. That's a shame. Capital City should be ready for... How about a school? Yeah. Let's get you a school. Don't say I don't ever treat you to nice things. We launch a big explosive metal tubes. You're not wrong. Got room for another city? Yeah, we should pump another one of those out. Let's do that. May as well make it these two. All the extra yield that we can get is probably a good thing. So we'll blomp, 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 blomp. Go a couple of industry, maybe just one. Maybe a hamlet to fill the rest. Nice little setup for a beginner city. Once we get 3-masted ship online, next beginner cities will be even better still. $1,000, not bad. I'll sit here for the stability, although it shouldn't be an issue ever again. We can use our scientist ability now. Am I ready to? I could be persuaded to be, considered to be ready to. No. maybe once the manuscript is done, I might check the infrastructures. See if this one's any good. Plus 25 science. The game will end in 30 turns. Yeah, thank you. Well aware of that. Okay, let's put someone else on it, maybe. Anyone got reasonable industry that's actually worth converting? Not especially. Maybe we allow them to grow. Bang, an extra 1,000 science per turn in. Yup. Okay. It's a done deal. We made it to these islands, but sadly it was revealed that the absolute behemoth empires in the game have absolutely overtaken me. Seeing as we lacked cities so long, though, I'm really tempted to sort of detach and build another one. Maybe we detach off Olmeca. Maybe the double natural wonder? Can we get something really goofy? Oh, no, actually, because this one benefits from being on a larger city. I was just wondering if there was any way I could gamify this a bit. Not really. We should probably leave them in a big place. Yeah. Try and break away the smaller places. We maintained religious dominance for quite some time, but unfortunately it too fell away. So we completely lost all of the benefits with that. Oh, it's a disaster. 15 fame isn't going to save me. +1 city cap might help a little bit. I think it may be too late. For us, dear friends. It's too late for us. Go on without me. You can see some technologies moving through. They are actually, they're picking up the pace a little bit. But I think if I look to my ultimate goal one, which we would have liked to have burst through into, it'll still be really expensive. Yeah, so it's still 12 turns. Ah. 2,200 science is just not enough. We're unable to leverage it. I suspect, and you correct me if I'm wrong, eagle-eyed viewer, but I suspect it's probably because we went through so much of the game having such low yield because of the lack of cities that by the time we built it up to actually be able to build extra districts, industrial districts, taking 1 turn instead of 10, etc., etc., I think it just became a bit much. A bit too difficult. Ooh, look at this. I'm dragging around 1 population. I don't know how I've done that. I've stuck ×1 pop to my mouse. Go away! Go back and work a job, you fool! Nope. They're just stuck with us for life. Oh, they're gone. Just like that, they're gone. That's a shame. We were just starting to get to know each other. Yeah, see, and at +12, it's no. Maybe if we jump onto a... nah, we'll just stay secular. We'll stay secular. I thought, like, maybe we could jump around, but there's kind of no point. Like, maybe we pick up someone else's scientific bonus, but it probably doesn't lead to much. And while we're picking up the early technologies fast, the later ones, as you rightly point out, are just too slow. Are just too slow. We're not going to get to our nukes. I'm going to wave the white flag here and resign. I concede defeat. Whoa, 1 city challenge. You have defeated me. I will try you again sometime soon-ish. And I guess I'll have to make it slightly more achievable for myself, which either means taking off subscriber personas, using the default ones that are a bit weaker, lowering the in-game difficulty, or changing the rule set of the challenge somewhat, so that it still fits within the Steam criteria of having 1 city when I end that is 30 territories or more, but maybe I allow myself to play with ones I pick up throughout or something. I don't know. There could be a house rules attempt to it. Either way, it was a really interesting playthrough, a super fascinating start in particular. Thank you so much if you've tuned in across multiple streams as well. People often don't. It's often usually the first one that does really well, and then the rest of them kind of taper off. And we've seen that certainly a little bit, but I've really appreciated you being here. Faces new and old. Extra special shout out to Neon Demon, to Devilish, and to Cutter, who supported today's stream by either renewing their memberships or becoming members or super chatting. Gavin as well at the start of the stream. I hope you feel better, Gav. I do. a weekend. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit better now. You kicked us off with a $20 one, and I really appreciated that. Thank you for tuning in today, everybody, though. Regardless, your support is freaking fantastic. And I will likely see you either tomorrow or the next day for an alternative stream. I'm leaning towards Bannerlord because Trinitas is right, but also Devilish is right. So I should dust off my Civ 5 gloves. My God, they are dusty. Either way, I'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody. And if it's I think it could be a holiday in America tomorrow, right? Because it's not Monday for you yet. So maybe because it's the holidays, I'll stream. Although also maybe you're all doing like 4th of July things. I don't know. Either way, I'll see. Thanks, everybody. And I'll see you likely for some Bannerlord 2 within the next couple of days. Bye. Bye. See you, bye. See you, Cutter.